Welcome to day two training. My name is Patrick Lee, and I'm the owner of PLB Investments LLC. First off, I just want to say congratulations for making it past day one training. If you took our review test, congrats on passing the test and earning your certificate. In day two training, we'll be covering how to use our everyday CRM system for all our wholesaling projects. This training will show you how everything works and how to navigate the dashboard to make submitting deals and keeping track of important steps and connections. The four topics we'll be covering is the wholesaling exam, instructions on using the CRM system, what business website creation platform do we use to attract sellers and buyers, and finally Canva, a graphic design website that we use for creating our marketing content. Let's briefly go over the certificate part now. The cost to take the review exam is $25. So be sure to take it now before the testing price changes. We're doing it for a limited time to try and help anyone wanting to get certified. Having a certificate separates you from not being trained or qualified. We all know that everyone in the industry says get a real estate license to sell real estate. But our goal is to get you trained as a real estate wholesaler to become a real estate investor, not a real estate agent where you work for 3 to 4% commission on the sale. We want you to learn how to make 10 to 50K or more on a deal. The system that we'll be using for our training and what we use on an everyday basis is Flipster. This is created specifically for wholesaling your deals and keeping track and storing important contracts and contacts that you need to have in order to move your deal forward in the wholesaling process. The cost to have access to the system is $97 a month. This is a dashboard. Here's where you can create a new contact, manage your categories, manage your markets, and manage your contact list. And as you can see to the right, I've created some examples of people that have in your line of contacts to help you close on your deals. What markets have I created for myself by managing markets? And managing markets, you can create markets, and then you could set up like which markets you want to add people in. So I created cash buyers for Florida, for Maryland, for PA, for Texas, and then I started doing other categories also for particular areas and counties where I added one for cash buyers for Bradford, PA, but also going down the line, EMD lenders, Gator lenders. These are people from like the Pace Morby group that I work with on a daily basis that are very useful. I mean, like the EMD earnest money deposit people, and the Gators are basically the ones who can like help fund your deal. So try to add people like that to your list. As you can see, when you put in a contact's name and information, you're allowed to put in their first and last name, their email address, their phone number. And then when you create your markets, you have a section of where you want to put them in so you know exactly which market they're from. And then you have your categories where it says manage categories. This is where you could make examples for like this is part of your wholesaling team, or for me, I put down tax deed investors, and then like some of them are cash buyers, and then it shows the date that you actually created them and added them into the system. The next section on the dashboard tabs is the property section. This is the property section. Here's where you can find the properties you are working on, deals you're you're working and add it. And when you search for properties and requests to add them to your list, this is where they all appear. It usually breaks down all the information for you: square footage of the property, the owner's name, how much equity they have in a property, and it breaks it down in estimation between percentage and money amount. And it also includes the zip code and the complete address that you have listed for the. When you click on the property itself, you'll be given a pop up that displays all the information on the property. And within this menu, you can basically see all the information conveyed or that was pulled from county records to show you everything about the property right at your fingertips. So it shows your property details, contact info of the property, tax information, seller mortgage, foreclosure info, and then you can also add notes. There's a set of icons that allows you to do more than one thing with the property that ranges from viewing the property, but also to looking at the deal flow of property. In this section, you can see it basically says step one, find the deal. Step two, contact. Step three, analyze. Step four, contract the deal. Step five, find a buyer. Step six, assign the contract or double close on the contract. Seven is funding. And then step eight is getting paid. This section, you can choose between wholesaling a deal or fixing and flipping a deal, which makes the process really easy. When you get to the funding part of the deal, this section for step seven is usually just only for anybody who's upgraded their account or who's a different type of member. Um, if you're part of the 10K club and you invested $1,000 to become a member, you're awarded 90 days to land a deal with them. So basically, what you would be doing is over that 90-day period for your $1,000 investment, so be a part of the 10K club, they allow you to just go through a list of properties that they have imported into their own system, and you just go through and evaluate it, and then you submit it. And once you submit it, if they accept your deal, you make $10,000. So this part right here is also for when you do become a part of that membership, or that community set up for the 10K club. You get access to step 7, which is funding, and that allows you to actually find somebody to fund your deal, and it also gives you the cost of capital calculator. So just to give you a breakdown of the different memberships you could use when you upgrade to get access to that funding, you can upgrade to Pro at $197 a month with all of its benefits included, including proof of funds letter, private funding source, and your 24/7 answering service. Or you can upgrade to Prime at $397 a month with proof of funds, funding source, but also additional features like cash buyer magnet websites, asset based lender network, private money websites, and this is where you could, like, if you're building a team and you want to add multiple users to the account, you can pay $397 and it gives you the multiple user logins. Plus the LLC flipper kit where you basically sell your LLCs, which I think helps with like double closing deals. Or if you're into tax deeds and tax investments, it shows you how to use your LLC to sell your LLC to the person, and you can still close on the deal that way. But it also gives you a section here too where you can add credits. For $100, you can get 1,000 Flipster credits, and it breaks it down where a skip trace is 1 credit, ringless voicemail is 1 credit, direct mail postcards are 7 credits, and you're only charged for successful skip traces. So anything that is not successfully skip traced, it just goes back into your account. So, like I said, in regards to the 4 different icons that are available when you list a property or you're in the property section, you can also add notes. So, this is where you can basically put in any type of information that you found about the property, or like maybe things you had discussion with the seller about the property, or things you want to let your buyer know about the property. You can also add it in the notes section at the end over here, displayed next to foreclosure info. And the last section, as you can see under, it kind of looks like a red box. It's basically just like a way to delete the property if you don't want the property no longer on your list. And if you could see above the icon right there where it says archive, that's the archive tab where you can basically click on the archive tab and later go in there and delete the entire property so it's no longer. Next is finding the deal section on the tab. In this section right here, I mean, for anybody to use PropStream or use PropWire or so forth and so on, this is basically your area where you can find deals. The only difference with a lot of other sites is this has collected data from particular filters, and it actually gives you also MLS listings inside of the property software. So you have MLS, you have absentee owner, you have out of state, you have pre foreclosure, free and clear. You have real estate owned or bank owned um, properties, vacant houses, auctions, which give you auction listings of properties that are currently on the market at auctions, cash buyers, and private money lender filter. When you actually open up the search filters, it gives you more additional lead types that you can also focus on, which deal with out of state owners, pre foreclosure tied landlords, uh, empty nesters, liens, and probates. But you can also go in here and play around the filter because it says equity less than or like equity greater than, and so forth and so on, and whatever property type you're looking for, and then you'll be able to change those filters manually. So unfortunately, at the moment, the ringless voicemail system is currently disabled. It was one of the main reasons why I actually got my hands on the software. So we're just keeping updates on when it's going to be updated again. So I've been keeping in touch with support, but this is also good and handy to keep a part of the system. Do not fret for having a system and not having that feature available, because we're working on trying to get that feature updated and added back into the system. So the next section in the marketing section is direct mail. Direct mail is a method of sending marketing material to your prospects directly. We offer a simple done for you method of the system. All you have to do is enter your custom data and select your postcards, and you can schedule your direct mail campaign instantly. This is awesome, right? So basically step 2 says you enter your contact information so the person has means or information to reach out to you. So you're basically putting your name, your phone number, your website, your return address, your return city, your return state, and your return zip code, and then you hit submit. After you hit submit, step 3 is choose your design templates and sending dates. So if you pick the postcard, these are the various options of postcards that you could pick from. I think they have more than them. You could scroll down the entire section of the website. It has more than like 20 choices or 30 choices that you could pick from. So you're not sending the same card over and over. So when you see in the left section up there where it says postcard 1, send day, it has like a 28-day cycle. that you could choose from. So on day one, send this. Day three, send that. Day seven, send this. Day eight, day 14, day 21, or day 28, and then you just select your template and then you hit submit. Next in the marketing section is the email inbox. In the email inbox, you basically have the power to compose, look at your outbox messages, see your favorite messages, and archive messages. This is basically a system that they made a part of your system, which is free to use. They won't charge you no like Flipster credits for this or nothing like that. So you can send as many emails as you want. The only thing that I don't like about it is that you're only allowed to send to one contact at a time. So it's awesome to have because you have everybody's information in the system already. And when you pull down the tabs or when you compose one, it just already has the contact information there. So you don't have to constantly keep putting the contact information in. So it has more benefits than it does have losses. I like using this feature because I usually use email campaigning to reach my investors or to reach my EMD lenders or my gators. Awesome system. So, like I said, when you go to compose a message, it's going to ask you to select a contact. They have pre-selected templates for your select message template, and it'll just automatically put it into the system. Like if you're catering towards cash buyers, they give you a template for that. If you're catering to sellers, they give you a template for that. If you want to send out any like customized messages, just select the template when you're in the system and let it write the template in and just erase the entire template and then create your custom message to meet that template selection. And then you put in your email subject and then you type in your message. So the next section is the bulk skip trace. So with the bulk skip trace, it shows you two different icon areas that you can pick on, one from contact list or property marketing list. Earlier, when you was doing the contacts and stuff, where you manage markets and categories and stuff like that, this is where you actually use your contact list, where you can choose a property marketing list, like if you want to choose like PA or Florida or Georgia or whatever your target markets are. You could select either one of these to skip trace that section or that information. So let's say I selected PA, right? So step two will say confirm skip trace. So let's say I selected my contact marketing list as PA and the number of contacts that I'm going to be marketing to was 20. And once it confirms that information, all I have to do is hit submit. The last step in the marketing section is the bulk SMS setup. With the bulk SMS setup, you can currently allow users to integrate Flipster with one SMS API provider. They use a third party person called Telnex. So basically, it shows you steps in order to connect that third party service to Flipster. And you could basically send SMS messages right directly from the system and also respond to customers, clients, or investors from the system using this method. So some additional features in the marketing section, one of them is virtual assistant. So if anybody likes using virtual assistants and stuff like that, this is perfect. So they have you like watch a tutorial video on how you can help your real estate business, how to set up, start using the Flipster VA service, and then it just has a get started section. In order to use the VA assistance or the virtual assistance system, after you click get started, you'll fill out a form below to take the first step in getting your own virtual assistant. So they ask for your name, your email, and your phone number. And they want you to select and understand that when you do hire these people, it says I understand that the cost for a VA is $8 an hour, and that I must prepay for hourly blocks of 40-hour increments. So they're asking you to pay up front, $8 an hour at 40 hours. So whatever that is, I think that's like 120 or something like that. So they want you to pay 120 dollars for 40 hours, right? But they also understand that they also want you to understand that there's a one-time fee of $250 to begin using the VA service. So you pay $250 to activate your account with them, and then they'll charge you that addition. Another service in the marketing section that is additional add-on is the line answering service. Using a live answering service ensures that all your marketing calls are answered 24/7. When you integrate this with Flipster, all your calls are transcribed and saved within the Flipster line answering service dashboard where you can access and manage each call received. When you get started with the line answering service, there's some steps that you got to follow. It says click the get started button below. A new tab with this window will open the order form. Choose the monthly plan that is best for you. Fill out all requested information and click order now. After you submitted the order form, close the window within 1 to 2 business days. Somebody from Voice Connect will contact you, complete your setup, activate your account, and provide you with your new marketing phone number. Once your account is activated, log back into the line answering service tab in Flipster where you'll receive and manage all your call transcriptions. And it says if you have any questions or concerns, contact our support team. So moving along in the analyze section, this is known as the deal analyzer. This is basically where you can get information or input the information from your wholesaler and fix and flips, so you can understand your buy formula better, so you can see exactly what your buy price should be. And then once you come up with your buy price, it's recommended that you probably do like 15% below that and start from that number. So as you see here, I just put in an example. It asks you to put in your like the square footage of the property, the average price per square foot, for the ARV. When it asks you to put in the ARV sale price, you could click the question mark next to it because it gives you that orange icon right there, which will direct you to get comps for the property. So once you get actual confirmed comps for the property, that number will adjust. And then if you're doing like the rehab estimation to go along with the ARV price per square, that's where you put in your rehab cost, and then it automatically calculates closing costs, carrying costs, and desired profit. So if you're looking at like a fix and flip deal, this is excellent for fix and flippers. If you're doing a wholesaling deal, a desired profit percentage really won't matter, because then you can input your wholesale and fill in the desired wholesale fee section. And then at the bottom it says buy price. Then you can save your work and it just automatically saves it to the system. So you can go back and reference it and it'll be easy to pull up, or you can screenshot it and send it to investors or so forth and so on. Now we're in the offers tab. In the offers tab, you actually have a chance to like generate an offer. So basically says select the property in your role. The offer generator allows you to fill out a purchase and sale agreement, sign it, send it to the owner to be signed, and receive it all within the Flipster system. So it's just gonna ask you like a few things, like select the property. Like so from your properties list, once you put in properties, once you found the property that you want to actually select, it's automatically pulled up in the system. So when you hit select property, it'll pull up whatever properties you have added to your properties list. And then you can select I'm the buyer in this contract or I'm the seller, and then hit start new contract. Once you hit start new contract, it basically like pre-selects all the information, or like drops in all the information that you have created for your account and what the information you have been using, and it puts in the property info also. So it'll just drop this whole entire purchase and sale agreement for you, and you just go in and fill in the information as needed. And then I believe you hit submit, and it actually sends it to the person. So if you're working with real estate agents, there's also a section in the offer section called agent offer sheet. So in the agent offer sheet section, you can actually create a property, for whatever addresses that you have selected or input it into the system. So when you create new, it'll tell you to create the address, and then the address information will be available here. All you have to do is check mark it, click create new, and it'll actually draw up a template of information that you need to share with the real estate agent. So this is what it looks like. On the agent offer sheet, it will have the address information on the top part, and it's going to request that you fill in the information for buyer name and address. I guess the price that you're selling it for, or the asking price that you want it at. What are your funding options, or like funding like cash, uh, hard money lender, private money lender, etc. I guess that's what you put the funding section, and then proof of funds company. Like if they're asking for proof of funds, you put the proof of funds information there, so forth and so on. Condition and title. So they want you to maybe like what title company you're going to be using, and like how bad is the property, etc. And then whatever your inspection contingencies are, and then your earnest money deposit. What are you expecting to put down as a down payment to show good faith? Also in the offer section, you have an offer tracker. So this is great for like just understanding exactly what you're going to get out of the deal, what you're buying it at, like the list price, the list date, like the offer history, like when you first made your first offer to the person, what day did you do it, when did they accept it? It just gives it like a step by step breakdown of the offer info and the offer history, which is awesome to use, especially when you want to go back and use this as a reference sheet, to better understand the numbers, or which formula you use to actually come up with those numbers and then make your adjustments. So when you're doing wholesale deals, this is the assignment generator, right? So within the wholesale deals section, after offers, you have a assignment generator. The assignment generator is basically you assigning your contract to an end buyer. So if you're working with somebody that knows that you're a wholesaler and you want to transfer your rights or your interest of selling the property to them so that they could purchase it from you, it actually provides an agreement to assignment contract for sale and purchase that you could send directly to your buyer after filling all the proper information. But it also has these little icons in each section so you know exactly what information to put in. So it's easy to use and it's user friendly. Next is manage deals, right? So in the manage deals sections, you have something called a project budget tracker, right? So this is basically where you can go in and itemize every little thing. Like, if you picking up a dumpster service, you can select the contractor's name. If you have somebody specifically for the roof, who's the contractor? If you're doing windows, glass blocks, siding, point exterior, like this is mainly for people who are fixing flipping projects, and this is great to use. We're not going to be using this too much, unless we have to like run an estimation for a fix and flipper that doesn't necessarily want to do the research himself, but we want to land a deal with him and we want to show him that we understand the numbers. This is great to show them. You also have in the managed deals section something called the rehab scope of work, right? So the rehab scope of work, you can basically itemize and check off or make checks of things that need to be repaired. And it has a status area where you can actually check mark it, and all the items are listed to the right of it. So cabinets and doors, close friendly, cabinet knobs secure in place, cabinet shelving in place, trim moldings, and panels in place. Like whatever is not in place, you just leave unchecked, and then you can later go back and then make it easier for you to understand what needs to be worked on and what doesn't. Also, in the managed deal section, you also have something called the deal profit estimator. So I think this is more mainly for people who are dealing with listing your property on the MLS, right? Which we're not going to be using too often because we're dealing with a lot of our buyers directly. But using the deal profit estimator is good to better understand exactly what the cost of everything is going to be, just so you can get like an idea or forefront to better understand the fees associated to see where your profit is at. But I also think that this pertains more to like fix and flippers who use this type of system, and it shows you exactly what you'd get on your rate of return for whatever price exceptions you have to put in. So, like for example, it shows you the sale price of the property, um, the buyer agent information, the buyer agent bonus, the list agent, the property transfer tax, how much it's going to cost, title insurance, home warranty, seller concessions, etc., title and closing fee, and then like the final purchase price, and then what your wholesale fee is going to be, and what rehab is. For the funding part, like I said, when you actually get to the funding part and you upgrade your account, right now it just gives you like a video tutorial of like done for you private template where you can actually showcase to investors projects that you've worked on, and it asks you to put in your logo and stuff. So as you see, it shows you a private money template to the left, and then it has a done for you private money template to the right. Once you watch the tutorial video, it says available for media download. Uses done for you private money prospect to show potential money investors, lenders, agents, contractors, etc. The kind of deals you've done as an investor with over 20 successful fix and flip examples, and this gives you instant credibility. Some of the other things that's added into the Flipster system is actually a couple sections, which is wholesaling and fix and flip. So the way Jerry Norton breaks it down, he adds these training videos in there, but I think he interchanges it and also updates the training section of it every now and then to add new material. But he has a crash course for wholesaling and he has a fix and flip crash course. So and when you start watching the crash course for the wholesaling part of it, if you just want to learn exactly how you can analyze, negotiate, and structure and quickly flip deals for 3,000 and 10K per deal, watch the crash course. It's there for you. It's not going anywhere. But I advise you to watch it because I don't know if it's going to stay there forever, but it's good information to have and have access to. But it basically has like 8 sections or something like that, 8 modules that you could watch, and it just gives you the intro to wholesaling, understanding your target buyer, learning how to analyze the deal, learning how to control the deal, learning how to find the deal, and learning how to fund the deal. Like I said, in part of the training section, next is he shows you like a module course breakdown of how to fix and flip. It gives you an intro to fix and flip, the fix and flip buy formula, the raising capital to fund deals, the evaluating the target buyer, evaluating the target area, analyzing exit strategies because when you fix and flip, you got to have an exit strategy that's going to pay you well or pay you over time so you can create cash flow for yourself. Or if you just want to wholesale it to a fix and flipper or buy and holder or so forth and so on, and just let them make the changes as necessary. So excellent to have. And then it also breaks down finding deals, analyzing the deal, marketing and selling the deal, uh, rehab estimation, and managing the rehab because a lot of people definitely do not know how to manage the rehab, but it goes into full detail how to break it down, and that's an excellent resource to have. So now moving into the resource section. In the resource section, we have a lot of contracts. We have so many things that's available to us on this website. And this is like 100% why I love using this system because it's awesome to have. Um, you have 67 ways to find deals. You have uh, 6 FPS blueprint. You have the affidavit of memorandums. You got the agent double dip contracts. You got the COVID addendum contracts. You got the COVID seller scripts. The co wholesaling contract that you have to realize when you do JV with people. This is the co wholesaling contract you should be using. These are all attorney approved contracts. So as you can see, there's more than enough contracts in here. You also have the funding kit. You also have the list or flip a script. You have the $1 million ebook. You have a novation kit if you want to do novation deals. You have an offer calculator. You have a novation offer calculator. Um, and it goes into other things like private lender contracts, private money calculators, uh, project budget tracker, purchase and sale agreements, purchase and agreement termination letters, which is basically used when like you no longer want the deal because you found out information or it's going to cost too much or you're not going to make no profit from it. After doing your due diligence over your 30-day period, the purchase agreement termination letter is perfect. And it also goes into other additional stuff at the end where it's like sub two frequently asked questions. You also have sub two contracts in here that you could download if you're doing sub two deals or seller finance. You also have a virtual wholesaling guide. You have a wholesaler's contract pack, and it also shows you wholesaling regulations. So keep in mind these are available resources. They're not going nowhere. So when you're part of the system, you always have access to information. Uh, Next, I'm explaining to you Hostinger. Hostinger is a platform that we use basically to create our websites. Like I said, we have two websites that we mainly use. Uh, One is realestatetrader.com and one is realestatetrader.online. These are websites I have created to attract buyers and to attract sellers. These are also called my lead magnet sites that I use on a daily basis. It just helps you appear more professional. Um, you don't have to like collect somebody's information and go back to them and ask them 1,000 questions. You can actually structure the website to set up to your criteria. So when you do get to this part, this is great to have as your resources and your tools when becoming a wholesaler because you want to make the process for yourself easy as possible. So an example is the buyer's form. So on the buyer's website, I created a request form that breaks down the name, the last name, business phone, business email, and their investment market and their investment type. You could change this if you understand like your SEO settings, where you go in and you basically like uh, change whatever these sections are, which are form sections. Like you could ask for first name, last name, buy box, and business email, or you could do first name, last name, business phone number, business email, and buy box information, or like you could change it however you want them to fill out the information that you need to collect from the buyer. Like maybe you're catering to like fix and flip people. Maybe you just want like the first name and their business number, and then like what type of houses they're looking for, and then if you want to do it like that, and then just like later call them up and then collect all the other information later, however you see fit. I mean, this website does so many features. It's awesome. You can also add your social media links so they could be redirected to see more credibility about your website and what other things you're doing. I've added my Facebook, my Instagram, and my LinkedIn account to the buyers forum. So if they ever want to check me out on social media and like do their research, then they can also follow me that way. We also created a sell your property website to attract sellers. So we created one simple homepage that breaks down the information of what our website is about and who we are. And then we also added the services section. So to give them the breakdown of how the process works when we sell their property, who we network with, just to give them like a sort of comfort or an idea of how the process works with us. And then you have your standard, seller's request form, like, hey, but what are you selling your property for? How much you asking? Do repairs need to be, done on the property? When do you want to sell? Like those are questions you can put on your seller's request form, which are also known as the 4 pillars of real estate. So I use the 4 pillars of real estate on a seller's request form. So I get all the information I need ahead of time. So when I do actually call the person, I can make them an acceptable and understandable and respectable offer. All right, and finally is Canva. Canva is a website that we mainly use to do a lot of our marketing content. Like as you can see with my recent designs, I do more than enough designs. Like I do training videos, I do Zoom meetings, I do promotions. So like a lot of the templates and stuff are easily available to you. You just hit create a design. It shows you what type of designs you can set up. You can do video presentations, create logos, you create YouTube thumbnails, you could do Instagram posts. I mean, if you're a streamer, there's Twitch overlays. If you want to make like portrait cards or flyers and stuff like that for your business, you can do the same thing there. So many features, excellent to have. And you can also create a team on this. You can start adding people to it. I mean, it costs a little bit more to create a team if you're going to have like more than one person inside the system making changes and stuff like that. This is great to also have for a team. So that concludes day two training. But I just want you to understand more of the cost of resources that are available outside of the day two training, outside of the day three training. When you do the day one exam, that's a $25 fee. That's a one time fee that you have to pay in order to earn your certificate. You can't earn a certificate unless you actually pay and go through the exam and pass it. 80% is passing, so make sure you pass that. Make sure you get that certificate. It's great to have. The Flipster system itself is $97 a month. I just recommend the basics starting out. I'm also working on a partnership link so you guys could get discounts to have that system for the first 30 days, so it can help you within the first 30 days to land your deal and to organize your deal and to be more professional and getting your first deal. And then later on, they just go back to the regular price of $97. So I'm currently working on a partnership with them now to see if they'll give me a partnership link or affiliation link or a discount link that I could share with you guys, because I mentioned that you guys are my students and I'm trying to help you get in low scale and low entry so that you could make your first deal, or make your first three deals, however much motivation you have. And just to keep everything affordable for yourself so you're not spending too much out of pocket. Um, Low risk, high return type of situation. And when you do the websites on Hostinger, we actually can share a partnership link with you through that, where you get a discount for signing up using our partnership link. But generally, the websites cost about $15.99 plus $2.99 for email. So you pay $15.99 to maintain your site every month. The $2.99 is for your email so that you can receive messages to your personal email when anybody signs up on your forms. You get notified by email that somebody signed up, and you can come back into the system, check your forms, and then call the person up and reach out to them, so forth and so on. Hosting on this website, your hosting literally only costs you like $199 for a year. Like, they have the lowest level of hosting I've ever seen ever in my life, but it's great to have. So for both of the websites, for the seller's website and the buyer's website, you're basically paying like an average of like $35 to maintain both of those sites a month, which is awesome if you ask me. And then the Canva site's normally like $12.99, but if you start adding teammates to your website, it goes up to like $15, and it goes up to $25, like $33, depending on how many people you add. But the average monthly maintenance to maintain all of that, um, minus the 1 day exam, I mean, you're spending an average of $132 to maintain everything. Your $97, your websites, and having the canvas, you can create promotions and send out content and create more content. So I would just like to say thanks for tuning in, man. Day two training is completed, man. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell everybody about how I'm setting this up so that we can actually get more people interested in this, so we get more people certified and trained, and help them out in any way possible as we can. Like I said, make sure you like and comment, man. Especially for my students, for anybody who's watched this training, I like you guys to ask your questions, ask anything. I'll be sure to make the replies, or I'll call you up personally. We'll do an interview, whatever be the case. And it will help us actually reach more people on YouTube who actually need the additional training. So I'd like to say, yo, thanks for tuning in for day two training. Follow up with me later on for day three training. We're gonna figure it all out. We're gonna go over promotions and marketing training, where we show you how to set up the Canva website and how to actually create the content in it. We're going to better understand our target markets for our company, because PLB Investments only deals with certain markets because of what we're attracting right now for our business. We're looking at PA, New York, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, and Texas. So we're going to start off with those states first. And then I just want you to better understand those attorney approved contracts. And we can actually like open up each contract and see what it's the verbiage in it, and like understand the terminology to use when talking to clients or customers, and so forth and so on, and just better understand all the available resources. So thanks for tuning in, man. See you guys next time. See you at the next training.